Hello friends, good afternoon all of you. So myself Venkatachalam, I have total 10 plus years of non-IT experience. So today I'm going to explain about non-IT profile. So after completion of graduation or post-graduation, many of them is having confusion, right? Whether we need to choose IT job or non-IT job. So where we will be having more growth and what are the packages being offered in non-IT job and required skills for non-IT job and where the job roles, what are the job roles will be offered in non-IT and what are the advantages of non-IT. So I will be clarifying all those things in this video. Okay. So just take a I'll be sharing screen. Let me share my screen. Just a second guys. Okay. I think you guys can able to see. Yeah. So I'll be explaining what are the rules we offered in non-IT environment and what are the key skills required for those kind of profiles and what is the education qualification and what are the packages we offering. So what I said, what are the job roles we'll be having in non-IT, right? Non-IT jobs, right? So we'll be having mortgage. Another one will be having investment banking. Another one will be having financial services jobs. So another one will be having accountant jobs. Okay, accountant. So another one, last one is BPO. These are the non-IT jobs offering uh, in this environment. Okay, so these in all those things I will be explaining in detail later of the part of video. So first thing I will be explaining another thing is what are the education qualification required for this job. Education qualification required. So we'll be having BCom, BSc, okay, MBA, BBA. So these all thing MCom as well. So this is the qualification required for these jobs. Okay. Another one is what are the key skills required for these jobs. So main thing you need communication skills. Key skills required for this job is one is communication skills. So wherever you go, whatever the job you will be choosing after completing of your graduation or post graduation, must and should require your communication skills. Another one is problem solving skills. What is the problem solving skills? So you need to be like, whatever the situation, irrespective of your situation, you need to continue your work and you have to be face your challenges. You have to be ready for unexpected situation and still you can achieve the goals. You can able to achieve. So that is what problem skills in the workplace. Another one is written and verbal skills. Written and verbal skills you need to have. What are the written skills you need? You'll be having emails. Email you will be having, right? You need to email and you'll be having reports. Other things will be having letters. So these things you need to be learned. And verbal skills, what you will be having, lectures, lectures or speeches you need to give. So these things. Okay. So written and verbal skills also required. So these are the main things for in IT job. Okay. Oh my, what are the job roles have been said, and education qualification, and what are the key skills required for this? So key skills. Okay. The foremost thing is what are the packages in offered in these job roles. So as a fresher, you can get 2.5 LPA to 4 LPA, 4 LPA as a fresher. So if you are having 2+ years of experience or 3 years of experience in this industries, then you will get up to 7 to 8 LPA. And you will be having different job roles. I'll be explaining that as well. So what are the job roles you'll be having? The positions you will be having and this. So we'll be joining, like your designation. Designation is like, first you will join as a associate or process associate or a junior accountant. So like that. Then you will become a senior, then you will become a supervisor, or then you become assistant manager and manager. These are the job roles you'll be having. Designation as like, first processor. Processor you can join, senior associate, then you can like a supervisor, then we will become assistant manager, manager, senior manager. So these are the job roles we'll be having. So depends on the every designation, you will be getting hikes and you will be promoted to the next level. So these are the main things what it will be in IT jobs overview of all those things. Okay. Next, what I need to cover is, so each profile, what we have to learn as a fresher and what we have to do in this exact profile or exact domain, what we need to be focusing. Okay. The main thing is each profession or each domain, we need a separate skills and specific required skills on those specific job role. Okay. So in this video, I'll be explaining about mortgage. So I explained about non-IT jobs as mortgage, investment banking, financial services, accountant, and BPO, right? So first thing I will be explaining in this video, I'll be taking only mortgage. So today we will cover it. So mortgage, okay. So what is mortgage? So it is a secure loan, guys. It is a secure loan. Means you're approaching a bank to get a loan on your home. So you have some money, but it is not sufficient to buy a new home. So you need a loan. So for that you will need you have to you will approach the bank. So you need loan for what purpose you need? You want to buy a home, right? What you need a loan. So you will approach bank. Customer who customer wants a loan and he will approach a bank to get a loan. So they will, what first thing they'll do is they'll verify all your documents and all your BGV things, like background, how for your credit score, how for your capability, how you paid in the fast loans, how good you are to the banks, how good customer you are into the banks. So they will verify all those things, then they will approve a loan. So in this process, we will be having separate steps one by one we need to follow in this areas. Okay. So in this mortgage process, the main thing is we'll be having separate kind of loans, but only mortgage will be explaining because we'll be having requirements on the mortgage, US mortgage process, in the or in major of the companies, like we will be having a mortgage jobs in the Infosys, TCS as well, Wells Fargo as well, JP Morgan as well, Aquiin Financial Services, and First Source. So these all companies will be having mortgage process. So here, how loan mortgage process works. So this process starts with loan origination, means where we apply a loan, ends with, like we'll be having couple of signs with foreclosure, or like we'll be having separate kind of set of processes. So loan origination to foreclosure or disburse, discharge. So if you are paying regular payments, and if you are still like all payments, you have made regular payments and in time you have cleared all your EMIs, then you will be discharging. So, but if you are unable to clear your debts, then you will be your property will be seized and it goes to the foreclosure. They will property in the auction. So these are the steps we will follow. So what are the process set of processes we'll be having here is loan origination will have origination, will be having underwriting, will be having more requirements and underwriting as well, guys. Underwriting and closing and foreclosure. So these are the, and another one is a process. It will be there a lot of processes, but I will be explaining major processes is these are the major processes. So I will be explaining these all processes and mortgage life cycle through the PPT. Just go through on this. From next video onwards, we will be going through in depth and what are the skills required for freshers and what are the skills required for experienced candidates, or what we need to learn and how to crack interviews, and everything I will be explaining in upcoming videos. So today I'm just going and giving an introduction of how mortgage looks like and how this flow runs in a industry, in the mortgage industry. So then next, from next class we'll be go through in depth of the mortgage industry, and we should connect interviews by one. Okay. So first thing I'll be explaining today is I'll showing you PPT about mortgage BPO. So BPO services, like mortgage BPO services and how it works, and home loan services, and how we will calculate the principal, interest, tax and insurance. Then as a service provider, because they are outsourcing major of the companies, they're outsourcing businesses to the other banks or companies to provide services. So as a service provider, as like we are working as a service provider in Infosys, or we're working in service provider in Wells Fargo or in JP Morgan. So how we'll be working and how this process comes into uh, how they are assigning loans to us and how we are working on this. So everything I will be explaining. Okay. So first, what is the business process management? So business process management is nothing but a non-primary business. So because it is not their core activity or their core functionality. They are giving service to the third party provider. So, so they're giving service to the other company like as a third party service provider. Okay. So it can be divided into two types like back office outsourcing and front office outsourcing. Back office outsourcing, what are the you know roles involved into back office outsourcing is quality assurance, data entry, jobs are general data entry things, and data management and accounting, payment processing, and service regarding to the things what we have done so far. And front office outsourcing like fax, email, phone conversation with customers. And why this and why this business is outsourcing? So because of cost saving, flexibility, so they can save the time, so they can focus on the main core activity. So remaining things and all they will give to the other company or other institution. They can do the all the tasks and they can submit it to them. So so that they can focus on the main core activity and main strategies. So it can be like they can increase their market and they can decrease their risk mitigation. They can you know this the things will be benefited if you want to outsource the business. Okay. Next, what are the process steps will be involving in the business process management? So farm processing, organization gives work to the another entity, so another organization. This involves gathering of data from the forms and the documents. And then if you come to bookkeeping, like bookkeeping is something that recording of the financial transaction, like it is a process, it is the part of process in accounts. So includes like purchase, sales, receipts, payments. So a recording of a transactions. Nothing but okay. And data entry. Here we can verify and enter all the required data as for the criteria. And when it comes to data conversion, we can convert any kind of data reports, journals, financial statement into our understandable and easy format. So we'll be having a separate team as a data conversion team. And insurance processing. So natural calamities like floods, hazards, if anything happens, if your property is lost, like your home got damaged, so it will be covered by the insurance policy. So we'll be having insurance processing team as well, and help desk team. It is required, right? So whenever we are facing some problem, kind of issues related to our system is not working fine, then we will get it clarified by calling to respective agent. And then we'll be having tech support. So what is this tech support? Like no assistance for whenever we are having the technical issues. So that is what we'll be having in this BPO processes. So what is BPO? Okay, BPO is nothing but business process outsourcing. We already discussed, right? But we'll be having another name called broker price opinion. So it is different from business process outsourcing. Okay. Here BPO means broker price opinion means the sales agent will decide the estimated value of the property. Like these are initiated by the financial institution like banks, mortgage companies, or like a property professionals. So they will decide the property evaluation and market price. So and then if you come to like what are the things involved and what broker will prepare the complete report on this. So when it comes to the here, so we'll be having characteristics of the property and zoning requirements, similar properties in the surrounding area. So that will decide the opinion, right? So and then local and regional market information as well. How home loan process, as I discussed earlier, how loan process steps will be included. So the first thing is origination, where the customer go ahead and applies for a loan for a purchasing or refinance of the property. And processing, lender validates the loan application package of the applicant. So lender validates the loan application package. So he will validate all those things and the processing how it goes loan process he will sign the all the documents and everything then he'll submit it, right? So that is what this loan processing is all about. And underwriting, so underwriting is something like we have to analysis it will be done based on the credit package, like to determine the worth and capability of those things. And then closing, signing and recording of loan documentation and disbursement of loan funds. So everything, if it got clear, then they'll disburse the money. Delivery, process of packaging and delivering loan to the investor. So he giving, approving, and he is delivering loan to the investor. Okay. Servicing. Servicing is nothing but collecting and disbursing. So here it comes. What are the like payments, EMIs, default payments, everything it comes. If he is paid properly, so then he will get discharged from the loan. And if he is unable to clear his debts, then he will be dismissed from the respective loan process. Then he'll move to the foreclosure. Then they'll seize the property. Then it will go to the auction. So the last thing is secondary marketing. Existing mortgages bought and sold in the secondary market. Next thing is how home loan is calculating principal and interest, tax and insurance. Like as for everyone understanding saying that our monthly payment involves whatever the loan it is, what kind of loan it is. Our monthly payment includes principal, interest, tax, homeowners insurance, homeowners association fee. Here, principal interest must right and tax like insurance we need here is like if you are like anything loss has happened then it's need to be covered, right? So we'll be paying in insurance as well. So mortgage should term like 15 years and 13. Maximum term is like 30 years, from the 15 years to 13 years. Based on that, and it will be like type of mortgage will be decides. And then based on this, if your term is more, the interest rate will be increases. If your term is less, the interest will be less. So based on that, interest will be calculating, and principal or tax and insurance, everything will be calculating in the home loan process. So what is our services and what is our services of client? I will be explaining here is how business we are getting from the client. So as we are working, so for example, if we are working in Infosys, mortgage is process is working in Infosys. Our client is in US, some client, okay. So they are giving business to the Infosys to provide the services. Client is outsourcing their business to the Infosys, and Infosys, it will done all the work, and they can submit it to the client. What is the client aim is they can provide service solutions that exceed expectation. So we can provide accurate services to the banks within the time limit, and we have to protect the borrower from the foreclosure. You know, if loan goes to the foreclosure, it is loss for both the borrower and lender, bank also, because borrower is going to lose property because he is unable to clear his debts. Then it goes to foreclosure and the property will shell, right? So whatever the EMIs he paid, he might have lose all those things. Investor will lose the profit because this process, it will take a lot of time, and he is not getting interest, and he is not getting to run a business smoothly. Okay, right? So this is a loss for both the customers. So what is Infosys task is they have to be make job easier, because he's have to serve properly, and he has to make collection properly, and he is taking care from property not goes not going to the foreclosure. He saves the property, and he serves and he provides accurate services to the customer and the client as well. So like I said, how business is coming to Infosys, like loan originators or the banks, they will give set of loans to the SPS. SPS is the client, okay? Client. So client is SPS. SPS is giving loans to the Infosys for servicing on behalf of them to the originators. Infosys giving services to the originator on behalf of SPS. Like as a Infosian, our customer is client SPS. Okay. As a client employee, as we are working under client, our customer is banks, BOA, Chase, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, these all things. Okay. So they are giving businesses. They are giving the banks giving businesses to the client. Okay. Banks works, client is doing, and that project they're giving to us. We are doing on behalf of them. So this is how the business transformation works. So as a service provider, what is the role under client? once clients get loans from the originators, who's the originators? Customer applied loan in where? Banks, right? So once he applied loan in banks, then client gets loans from the originators. So our SPS, our client sends some loans through mails to us. Some loans will get it through our accessing links. We'll be having some links to access the files. Okay. Based on that, we will pull it from workflow. From there, we complete the loans within span of time, like whatever the time period or target within that time we need to complete. So here we will be having separate teams like loan process teams, like data conversion, mail, loan resolution, QC team, document review team, loss mitigation, how to decrease loss, and junior lien, LOD, NPV, collateral, embedsment, accounts payable, quality checking, SRM, REO, cash sharing, customer support, bankruptcy, CDM, free foreclosure. So loan boarding to the foreclosure, we will be having a lot of processes. We'll be explaining upcoming classes, all those things in detail, and I will be assuring that we will crack your interviews by one by all learning all those slides, and I will be providing accurate information and all this required information into upcoming classes. Thank you so much for you guys.